So we'll be moving on with other questions on inequality, surd logarithm, sequence and series, and then we'll actually be moving to other topics, simultaneous equation, and be looking at some things in word problem. But before that, let's take the final questions that we have on ground as far as the topics we've covered initially are concerned. Let's take another question. In 2013 WAEC 2013 WAEC past question, 2013 WAEC Mathematics, General Mathematics Objective Test. General Mathematics Objective Test. So, we move further. Now let's take a question on, that's going to be question number 11. Question number 11. 2013 WAEC question number 11. It says, if x is equals to 64, if x equals 64 and y is equals to 27, evaluate x raised to power 1 over 2 minus y raised to power 1 over 3, all divided by y minus x raised to power 2 all over 3. So, you are welcome on board. How do we solve this question? That should actually be the next priority in this case. In solving this question is just some application of technicalities of what we've learned before, and then some little use of the rules of indices, and we are good to go. The options provided are those. Our final answer will either be A, 2 whole number, 1 over 5. 2 whole number, 1 over 5. B, 1 over 5. B, 1. C, 5 over 11. And D, 11 over 43. 2 number 1 over 5, B, 1, C, 5 over 11, D, 11 over 43. So let's solve and see which of the option is correct. So we move on. The question says, if x equals 64, that is, anywhere we see x, we substitute 64, and anywhere we see y, we substitute 27 respectively. So in this case now, we come back to the equation we're given, x, which is actually 64, raised to power 1 over 2, minus y, which is actually 27, raised to power 1 over 3, all divided by y, which is actually 27, minus x, which is actually 64, raised to power 2 over 3. Let's move on. So on this wise, we could actually evaluate further and simplify this to a lower term like in base 2 and base 3. So we have something like 64 in base 2 is going to be 2 raised to power 6 in bracket 1 over 2 minus 27. 27 is actually 3 raised to power 3 in bracket 1 all over 3, all divided by 27, which is actually 3 raised to power 3, minus 64, which is 2 raised to power 6, all to the power of 2 over 3. So we have 2 here, 1, we have 3. We have 3 here, 1, we have 3 here, 1. Then we have 3 here, 1, then we have 2. So we evaluate further by saying we are going to be having 2 raised to power 3 minus 3 raised to power 1 all over 3 raised to power 3 minus 2 raised to power 2. So, in other words, this is actually going to be 8 minus 3 all over 27 minus 4. So, our final answer is going to be 5 all over 23. 5 all over 23. So in this case, we have 2 raised to power 2 times 2, that's 2 raised to power 4. And 2 raised to power 4 is actually 16, not 4. Then 27 minus 16, that's 11. So we have 5 all over 11. So that's going to be option C. So the correct answer is actually option C. So, that we get that right. Let's take some more questions. Peradventure, one more question, and then we end this session. Let's take one more question in this regard, and then we close the session. This question is going to be on sort. That's join me in the same WAEC 2013, but this time around on the theory section. Theory section 2013, and the question is going to be based on sort. Question is going to be based on sort. WAEC 2013, theory section, question number 10B. Question number 10B. Theory test. Theory test. Question 10B. The question says, evaluate without using table or calculator, without using tables or calculators, without using tables or calculators, 3 over root 3 minus 2 over root 3 minus root 12 over 6. Actually, the question is actually a question based on evaluation. Evaluation means we should just solve further. We should actually solve further to get an absolute answer or an absolute figure. So, the question is 3 over root 3 minus, in bracket of, this is actually in brackets, two over root 3 minus root 12 over 6. So we have to evaluate this further and then solve accordingly. So let's move on with this. And in solving this, actually, we are going to have something like this solution. We have 3 over root 3 in bracket 2 over root 3 minus root 12 over 6. Let's simplify this in bracket. Now the LCM is going to be 6 times root 3, which is 6 root 3. So root 3 in 6 root 3, that's going to be 6. Then 6 times 2, we have 12 minus. Then 6 in 6 root 3, that's going to be root 3. Then root 3 times root 12, we have root 36. Then 3 over root 3 as an external sort. So we have 3 all over root 3, then in bracket 12 minus root 36 is 3, all divided by 6 root 3. So we say that's going to be 3 over root 3 in bracket 12 minus 3, that's going to be 9 over 6 root 3. Now don't forget, some of our previous session we did something like rationalization of sort. Rationalization of sort means when we are having sort as the denominator, we look for a medium to convert it to a rational number. The word rationalization, conversion to a rational number. And to do this, what do? You just multiply by a conjugate sort. Conjugate sort simply refers to any radicals in which by the time you multiply the denominator to it, will actually convert it to a rational number. Thank you. Let's convert this and let's perform some rationalization. So the conjugate sort of 6 root 3 is actually going to be 6 root 3. So multiply the numerator and the denominator respectively with 6 root 3. So on this note, we are going to be having equals to 3 over root 3 in brackets. Then let's multiply this. 9 times 6, that's 54, root 3, all divided by 6 times 6, that's 36. Then 36 times root 3 times 3, that's 3. So on this note, we have something like this. 3 over root 3 in brackets 54 root 3 all over 36 times 3. That's going to give us 78. So let's simplify for that before moving on. In this case, 9 goes here. 9 in 54. 9 in 54 is going to give us 6. 9 in 78. 9 in 78. Or let's cost with 3 first. So in this case, we are going to be having 18. 3 in 54, that's 18. Then 3 in 78, that's going to be 26. So we have 18 and we have 26. So we move on by saying don't forget, if you enjoyed this video and it's been beneficial to you, kindly like and share with the videos with your colleagues.